Hey everybody and welcome back. This should actually be, I believe, episode number 15 of our Dark Souls 2 Revisited playthrough. I am Fox with Foxeo Plays, and we're taking another look at the game, giving it a fresh look from a fresh perspective. The last few episodes have been decidedly negative, and for good reason. I wasn't a fan of those particular areas, and they really did highlight some of the biggest complaints I have with the game. Now that we're beyond those, hopefully things will pick up from here. Up until about 3 episodes ago, we were actually doing a pretty good job in terms of staying positive, and my impressions were we're a lot more positive. We're a lot more uplifting, and I was having a lot more fun than I'd even expected I would. So today's drink of choice is coffee, hot. You know, I like my coffee the way I like my women. Hot. This coffee also happens to be black with nothing in it. Alright, so let's go ahead and push this thing down. Interesting that the term for plain coffee with no sugar or cream is black coffee, because even if you put sugar in it, it would still be black. Alright, let's pour some of this out. I have a French press here on my desk, and a mug. My favorite mug is my Frosty the Snowman mug. It actually has a snowman on it. And then my second favorite mug is probably the mug that says, "Don't forget to be awesome." Okay. So we're in a good position. Our longsword is fully upgraded. Our Royal Kite shield is at +6, and all of our armor is at +6. So everything left to upgrade is at the Titanite level, except for the short bow. We're ready to install some updates. Well, thank you, Windows 10, for putting that right over my game as I'm trying to record. So I really appreciate that, Windows 10. Oh, if only there was some way to turn that off. I have to look into that. I thought I disabled all that annoying stuff like that. But as you notice, when that popped up its message, it actually dominated the entire screen, and I couldn't even click away from it. I had to click schedule. So very, very obtrusive. One of my biggest complaints about Windows 10, and one of my only real complaints about Windows 10 is its obtrusiveness with that, and also it's the fact that it's trying to track and control your data. But there are ways around most of that, thankfully. Let's double check that we've given all of our Estus flash shards. Yes, we have. Okay. And at this point, I'm pretty sure that all that's left for us to do is continue onward. I think we've taken care of all this stuff. You know, I'm getting kind of tired of waiting for another bow, so let's just go ahead and upgrade the short bow. Let's just do it. We'll stick with the short bow. Whatevs, man. So we can use everything up to large Titanite shards for those upgrades, since we no longer need them for anything else, so we're not going to worry about that. Titanite shard, 1 out of 8. Oh, we may need 1 more Titanite shard. Let's go to McDuff, because we'll also need large Titanite shards. Majula's theme is probably my favorite song within the Dark Souls universe. Or the Souls universe, rather. All the Souls games. I wouldn't mind if they had, like, more interesting title screen songs, but I guess what they put in the title screens, or rather in the key areas of the game, the hub areas, makes sense for the most part. Nothing to repair. Alright, I get that, I get that. Let's go ahead and pop some souls. I think we may have 2 boss souls available to pop. Indeed, the Duke's Dear Freya. And of course, the Prowling Magus? No, the Smelter Demon soul. Interesting, I guess the Prowling Magus didn't give us a soul. Okay, so that's quite a few. That might actually get us where we need to go. We'll see about that. So let's reinforce this thing, and then, yeah, that's Titanite chunk, okay. Oh shoot! What did I just do? Oh, what the heck just happened? What the heck just happened? Hang on. Hang on. Why did it move? What was that about? Okay, I have no idea what I just saw happen. I swear like it moved or something? I don't know. Whatevs, man. Whatevs. Large Titanite shard. Oh wow, we had just enough large Titanite shards from our run and Brightstone Cove Seldora to get it to that point. So now all we need is Titanite chunks, but we're going to use those on our shield and armor first. Alright, so that's at +6, so that's pretty good. I guess that's doing a little better than before. And I guess that's all we need from him. So let's go ahead and head back and use the rest of these souls that we have left over for some levels. Coffee's pretty good. I really wing it when it comes to how much coffee grounds, how many grounds I put in it. I just eyeball it, I don't measure it. So sometimes I put in a little more or a little less, so it's a little stronger or a little weaker.
There.
Bear of the curse, seek less, seek less. Got it, thank you. Your message is important, that's why I skip it every time. Alright. Those both give 2 each, so there's no benefit necessarily picking one over the other. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright. And I do eventually want to get some more vitality, or vigor, whatever they call it in this game. What do they call it in this game? Vigor? Yeah, it's called vigor. As I said before, really, they should swap the terms vigor and vitality for very, very obvious reasons. I think most of you can figure that out, even if you didn't hear my spiel earlier. We were talking a bit about trolls in one of the other episodes, which makes sense because there was a lot of trolling and a lot of anger and resentment and just a lot of stuff going on in the realm of the sphere of the Souls community when Dark Souls 2 was out. There was the Dark Souls 2, there was the one camp that was pejoratively known as the Dark Souls 2 haters, of which I was considered part of that camp. And then there's the one camp which was pejoratively known as the Dark Souls 2 fanboys. And of course there were certain people involved in that camp. I believe if you go in here, he'll just suddenly decide to follow you. I don't know, let's just tackle him anyway. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Ooh, I dodged all of them somehow. I love how it seems such a common occurrence that when you're attacking these enemies, they somehow manage to survive with just an infinitesimally small fraction of health. It's like, I'm just so glad that they survive with that tiny, tiny bit of health requiring me to hit them just that one more time. That happened a lot in Bloodborne as well. Life Ring +1 and Twinkling Titanite. So actually, when we, let's see, the Ring of Restoration, Life Ring +1. Huh, that's a significant amount of, well, oh, wait, we didn't fully heal ourselves up. I'm going to use the bonfire to figure out how much it is. We did take 1 hit, so it didn't give us all of that health. What did I replace? The Poise Ring? Yeah, I replaced the Poise Ring. Soul of a Proud Knight and Repair Powder. Well, that was worth it. Definitely worth it. I do really like how this game gives you the feather after you've really pretty much completed it, or completed most of it. I wish the other games would do the same thing, although you can pretty much get an endless supply of your Homeward Bones or whatever. I think they're the most rare in Demon Souls. But at the same time, in Demon Souls, you don't quite need it as much because of how the game is structured. Demon Souls is actually structured the same way as Bloodborne. You basically have to return to the hub world to get anything done. Each area that you go to, ultimately, in one way or another, ends in a dead end at some point. And then you have to return to the hub world to then use one of those gravestones to teleport to some other area. Not as much as Demon Souls, that's for sure. That Bloodborne is far more interconnected. I guess you could even say that Bloodborne is kind of like a halfway between the Dark Souls world formula and the Demon Souls world formula. That was terribly off. Oh, got him. Old Radiant Life Gem and a Green Blossom. Psst, you probably would have wasted an Old Radiant Life Gem just to get to him. Alright, let's get back up here. And I didn't even realize there was a ladder. Okay, I guess I hadn't taken notice of that. So let's do that, and we'll pull this ring off. And then... Okay, so I got a good idea of how much it gives. Put it back on. I don't think that's going to make a significant difference to take up a whole ring slot. You'll notice that these rings I've kind of kept, like these are my core rings. I want these rings to stay here unless I can replace the Ring of Blades with the Ring of Blades +1 or 2 or whatever. But this 4th slot here, or 2nd slot, however you count them, this is a slot that I tend to enjoy swapping out for different things. and I can't quite decide what I feel is ultimately best. I would like to practice parrying him, and I can always go back to that bonfire if it doesn't work. Ooh, that was interesting. I guess I got close, but no cigar. There we go. But even when I do get the parries, I don't seem to be able to get them consistently. Like, I'll get it once, but then when I try again, I fail. I don't know. I'll just progress forward. Well, hello there. Aha, I ruined your little plans, didn't I? I need some more stamina, please. And one more. Large Titanite shard, not bad. And ironclad leggings, which we're not going to use. So about the troll thingy, you know, people, you can choose to block whoever you want to block. It's not, you know, an admission of defeat or some sort of cheap tactic to block somebody, you know, on Twitter or YouTube or whatever. Ah, take that, suckers. It is what it is, you know. You do what you have to do to make the internet a more reasonable, manageable place for you. And for me, definitely blocking people has made the internet portion of my life just infinitely better. Because there's no reason for me to tolerate very cruel, nasty, rude, vitriolic comments from people that I just don't know. I don't owe them anything. I mean, I don't even know who they are. They're not family or friends of friends or colleagues or coworkers. They're just random strangers that, you know, kind of work their way slightly into your life based on the fact that you're on the internet. Again, this is another silly place where they block you by, you know, having this thing where you could very easily climb up. So obviously it's entirely stupid that they would make that some sort of obstruction. Alright. And I think this leads to this other PvP area. Am I right? Yes, it does. Okay, the Bell Covenant. With a fog wall. Uh-oh, didn't mean to do that last one. Okay. Oh, shoot, I didn't know he could shoot that out at me. You're a little punk, you know that? Look at that aim. I mean, just look at that twisting at the last possible second. Gotcha. That tracking, man, that tracking. Absurd. Now these areas you used to get invaded like right off the bat. It was very difficult to get in here and get anything accomplished before the invasion came. But that doesn't seem to be the case now, mainly because, you know, some time has passed and I guess there aren't as many people playing. You can't say that Bloodborne necessarily did it all that much because, I mean, shoot. Bloodborne's not out for PC. No, it's more that you can't parry it because you're stunned. Oh, really? I parried him backwards? That's a new one to me. That's a brand new one. Didn't know you could parry him from behind when he's attacking in a different direction. Don't know what that did or where, but we'll roll with it. So, I didn't quite get to my strategy in the other episode. I oftentimes start my thoughts and don't quite finish them, which I know can be very, very frustrating. But ultimately, what I wanted to say... Oh, shoot. Forgot about this punk. What I wanted to say is... Give me a break. What the heck? I suddenly couldn't get over that? Really? That is so cheap. This game cheats, man. This game cheats. Alright. Is that the best strategy for trolls is the age-old advice that I didn't quite get to last time. And most of you who've been on the internet for a long time know what that advice is. Quite simply, don't feed the trolls. And I'm kind of feeding them just a little bit right now, but not really. I mean, I'm not feeding any particular trolls in any particular way. But, you know, what you don't want to do is what a lot of people have done in the past. You know, like you highlight their comments or something like that. Highlight things that they said and post them on Twitter. Or you go to Twitter in an angry tirade about how much you hate what trolls do and how trolls are so rude, or the trolls do this or that. Or, you know, posting videos talking about that, which I've done before and I shouldn't have. And ultimately, the best solution is you ignore them. And then as necessary, you block, mute, whatever you need to do. Because there's no reason for you to put up with that kind of, oh, I hate to use this term, I really do, because it's kind of a BS term, but verbal abuse. And, I mean, there's no such thing as verbal abuse, but you know what I mean, like that sort of verbal attack, if you will, even though that's still not appropriate terminology. Verbal harassment, how about that? It's best just to ignore it. And I know sometimes it's hard because it's one after another, after another, after another, after another. But the good news is that you can block and you can mute people. And over time, I've noticed that when I first started blocking people on YouTube, you know, I thought, well, is this something I should be doing? Everyone says, you know, don't block people because you lose subscribers. You do, because when you block a person, they go away as a subscriber. It automatically unsubscribes them, which I don't necessarily think that's what YouTube should be doing. Like, I would like the ability to block someone from leaving comments or contacting me, but allow them to continue to stay subscribed, because you'll gain what I want to say, popularity and money from your haters. When your haters come to your video, I mean, that's a view, and when they rate it, that's a rating, and all ratings are aggregated together. So, you know, a thumbs down doesn't hurt your video. It does pretty much the same thing as a thumbs up, from what we can tell. It just shows that your video is engaging. When people rate a video, it means they engaged with the video in some way. When they leave a comment, it means they engaged. The only problem with letting them leave whatever comments they want is that troll comments can start to dominate the landscape. And that's what we've noticed, that they often dominate because trolls say such offensive, inflammatory things that they end up antagonizing people and instigating issues. And that's where the focus becomes on responding to trolls in your comments versus, you know, addressing the issues in the video. Really? Was it going to be that easy? Wow, I didn't know it'd be that easy, but I think I got invaded again. Titanite chunk. Ah, see? Attempts to parry are just awful. I'm not ready for this. I don't have my Jester's coat on. Run off to the enemies and heal? No. Okay, credit where credit is due. He didn't heal. Will I heal? Maybe. Oh, input right afterwards. Yes, that's twice in a row. What do I get? What do I get? Oh, come now. I love how their arrows fly at warp speed and just slam into you no matter what. Look at that. Look how fast they can shoot them and they don't get knocked out of it. That's ridiculous. Alright, there we go. Jeez, that is so ridiculous. These enemies are absolutely over the top absurd. Look at that guy. He went all the way over there, climbed up the ladder. Oh, he has to, that's right, because it's a drop down. I see now. I was about to make fun of him for that. I guess that's not necessary. Oh, yeah, I forgot how they have infinite stamina and just incredible everything. Look at that dodge, aim. Jeez, these guys, I swear. Look that. He even canceled his attack animation more than halfway through to do some other attack or whatever. Incredible. Incredible. They do things no player can do. That's not humanly possible as a player. You can't give those inputs to your character like they can. They can change mid-direction. I always say this. They can change mid-direction in the air while doing a jump attack. While in the air, change direction to make sure they can hit you. Wow, it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. What do you say to that, you know? Immolation, that's a useless spell if I've ever seen one. Okay. Skeptic Spice? No, Human Effigy and Triclops Snake Troches. Okay. Whatever the heck that is. Any illusory walls? Nope. Any here? So yeah, the best strategy for the trolls is to just ignore it. Don't respond to them, don't feed them, and generally block, mute, and ignore. I like the mute option. I think muting is a great tool simply because it allows you to make it so that you don't have to deal with someone anymore without them necessarily even knowing. They can continue to post, but you won't even see it. So they can be under this misguided notion that they're annoying you when in actuality, oh, I'm gonna get knocked off, aren't I? When in actuality, you don't even see their crap. Oh shoot. Where'd that guy shoot me from? Oh, right there. Oh shoot. Get out of the way. Will these protect me or will they go through it? Okay, they will protect me. Okay. Oh, I couldn't stop him from getting through there. They killed the other one though. There we go. Well, that guy moved. Clever. Clever punk. Do what you're gonna do, buddy. I really need to get to a bonfire at this point. 42,773 souls. Please tell me the next bonfire is not, Oh shoot, I hit the dodge button, it just didn't respond. I think what it is the game registers the hit on you shortly before it actually hits you. So even though you do hit the roll button before the attack lands, it does look like your character just sits there and does nothing because your character is actually, according to the game's calculations, already hit. It just doesn't show to you visually that he's already hit, which is, I ran out of stamina. Which is bad, of course. It's very bad. It's bad design, of course. That's a no-brainer. But, you know, it is what it is. This is an interesting mechanic here, forcing you to get stuck up against the wall. But again, oh gosh, FromSoft. If you look at it, I mean, if you, okay. If you look at it, you could step over it. You might not even need to use your hands or arms. You might just be able to step up on it with your legs. And yet, it's an obstruction that completely prevents you from moving forward. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is, it's absolutely ridiculous. Because that's no obstruction at all. And yet, it acts as if it is. You know, again, why not simply have that take up so much space that it prevents your character from getting over it? You know what I mean? Wow, I don't know. I don't know what to even say. Like, how do you get it that wrong that many times? I don't get it. I mean, just I'm just at a loss for words. That you can have that much bad design and you know, just over and over and over again, the same Come on, do your attack. Stop walking. The same bad design, just over and over and over again. Did something shoot at me in here? I swear something shot at me in here. Come on, dude, you coming down? There you go. So, I don't have a problem with people who want to object to my opinions, contrary to popular belief. No, contrary to what the trolls say. You know, you look at my videos, you'll see people disagreeing with anything and everything I've said. The problem I have is with people who are unnecessarily cruel and harsh and rude and just mean. And there's no reason for it. So, yeah, those people just get blocked. I have no interest in that. You know, if someone wants to offer up a valuable, interesting, meaningful discussion, that's one thing. But there is no meaningful discussion to be had when you're just calling people idiots and morons and whatnot. No, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to pretend to be perfect. But, you know, when people are using just absolutely terrible language at other people, you know, what's the point of talking to them? Well, there isn't one in my opinion. I'm not going to attempt to grab that yet until I disable the fire. Jeez. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh. Oh, this game. This game, oh my gosh. Holy crap. Ugh. I'm telling you, it can really just be so stupid and just such concentrations of stupidity in such small areas. Boggles the mind, man. It boggles the mind. I don't know what is wrong with you. The guy is just an idiot. I'm sorry. The guy is just an absolute idiot. He's updated and patched this game so many times and left the same problems in it over and over again. And then he releases DLC, all of which just double down on the same just meaningless, pointless, stupid dribble. Everyone's complaining about the ambush encounters and the cheap difficulty and the ridiculous red phantoms. And what does he do? Put in DLC with more ambush encounters, more cheap difficulty, more ridiculous phantoms. So clueless. I mean, the guy is just so utterly clueless.
Bear.
You know, and that's the thing. It's just so sad and frustrating to see this series that you love so much be put in the hands of someone so utterly incompetent to work on it. Let's pop this. Want to get one more level. And to know there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's been ruined. It's already been ruined, and there's no fixing it. It is what it is. It's been ruined, and we have to live with this. And, you know, and I think Miyazaki knows that. He's not going to come out and say it, but Dark Souls 2 is a stain on the Souls series. And it forever will be. So there's no going back with that. But the good news is that hopefully they don't make that mistake again. Okay, so I think, is there a red phantom up here? I seem to remember there being a red phantom around here, but maybe that's in New Game Plus, or maybe that's in Scholar of the First Sin. Yeah, turn off that freaking heat. Aha, safety. Yeah, like the spikes on the walls, totally unnecessary. Lightning short bow +1, great. As soon as I start upgrading my short bow, then I find a bow. I wonder if that would be more beneficial. No, okay. We'll just stick with what we got for now. Yeah, these guys are fairly easy as long as you know to do the attack and dodge, but then they put them in very confined spaces, which is okay, but I don't quite feel it was necessary to put one in a confined space with spikes on the walls and fire traps at the same time. That seemed a bit excessive, to say the least. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we know what time it is. Humanity restored. Somebody drop a summon sign. I don't want to do this solo. Although I think I've done this guy solo many times. I'm talking about the boss, guys. Get your mind out of the gutter. Nobody's going to drop a summon sign for me? Well, you know what? Let me try my first ever summon sign drop. How about that? See if maybe we can get something. We'll get some bonus souls from the experience. Do you get a human effigy now when you help someone in PvE? I remember when they first came out, you didn't get human effigies from invasions or helping in PvE, if I'm not mistaken. It was just really terrible. I mean, wow. Especially the first build of the game, before the second patch, I should really say, because there's always like a day one patch nowadays. That's the new thing. Before the first patch after the game was released, not counting the day one, it was such an absolute utter mess that, I mean, looking back at it, they have made a lot of improvements, but they just utterly failed in so many other ways to fix obvious broken stuff. I remember the first couple PvP sessions, I mean, people were just decimating me with the Avalon. The Avalon was like the most powerful weapon in the game. Arguably the most powerful weapon in the game. They would just destroy everyone using the Avalon. Illusion ahead. You liar. There ain't no illusion there. That's the illusion of an illusion. And then on top of that, you just had so much going on, and many of the problems still here today, but some of them fixed and some things kind of smoothed out. But wow, when the game first released, was it an absolute mess? I mean, it was just a mess. I think it's safe to say that the first release of the game was pretty garbage, clearly unfinished, and I don't think anybody can argue with that. It was a truly unfinished game. Alright, well, let's just do this thing and hope for the best, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Your summon sign has disappeared. I'm well aware of that. Oh, I don't remember all the... Oh, by the way, putting this little pool here, what an a-hole move. Seriously, FromSoft. Come on, FromSoft, you jerks. Oh, I got him. What's that? I don't know what that was or what it was supposed to do or where the attack was on it. Oh, I was about to say I didn't dodge that, and rightly so I didn't. But that one I actually did dodge, but I still got hit by it. Wow, he's almost half health already. Clearly he's weak to lightning, or I'm just really powerful here. Oh, shoot. Ooh, I got him right in the face. I was going to say I didn't dodge that, but indeed, it didn't register as a full dodge, and that's right. You can definitely tell you have invincibility frames when you're able to dodge that attack, because realistically, that would hit you no matter how you dodged. No, come on now. There we go. I finished him with a single short bow wood arrow shot to the face. What a finish. What a finish. That made it all worthwhile. Wow, that guy's surprisingly easier than I remember. I think I did determine that overall I feel like he was a great boss fight. I think I'm remembering now. I think at first I hated him, but now I realize he's actually a really good design. It reminds me of Dark Souls design. The idea, he doesn't flail wildly. He has controlled movements that you can relatively easily predict once you know what they are. He puts you in slightly difficult situations at times, but not so much to be unreasonable. Oh, is this the DLC? It is, isn't it? Will I play through the DLC? Well, probably not, guys, because I really don't feel like it was done very well. I don't really like any of the DLC. I didn't finish the third one, but I finished the first two. So, yeah, I think we'll probably skip the DLC just because, we'll see. I'll decide later. If I do the DLC in this game, the DLC areas, then that will certainly be towards the end of the playthrough, possibly even after Nashandra. Trespassers will face adversity befitting a monarch. Yeah, like the rest of the game is a snap. Okay, actually, let me make sure that there's not like a illusory wall here. I don't think there is. See, this would be a great place to put one, but then again, they probably figured you would already be looking for it here. This whole area screams, you know, hidden room behind a wall, and of course there isn't a hidden room behind a wall. What a douchebag move, though, to not let you go right back to that bonfire right outside the DLC. Bunch of jerks. Okay. Proceed, blah, 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 blah. Alright. Shall we do more of this or more of that? I love how this gives you like 1 extra point of health. Like, wow, thanks. Thanks, FromSoft. That 1 extra point of health per endurance just really makes the difference. Like that, giving you 2. I'm like, come on, what is up with that? 2, I don't know. It's just, it's like they didn't know really what to do with all the stats, and so they kept tweaking them and having this stat do this thing, and this stat do this thing, and this one increases fire but does this, and this one increases this and this, and this one does this and this, and this one does this, but mainly this, and a little bit of this, and you know, it's like they just kept tweaking it until it became an absolute mess. I really don't think they knew what they were doing. That takes us to 95, that takes us to 95. Let's do that because that also boosts our bow damage. Again, really get the feeling they didn't quite know how to handle the stat balance, so they kept tweaking it and adding little things and putting this here and putting that there. And by the time it was all said and done, it became just this giant mangled mess. Actually, I think I get the most benefit using my Titanite chunk on my armor, because I don't really block that much with my shield. I mainly roll. So yeah, I think putting it on the armor is going to be best, because I get hit a lot, and I've always got my armor on.
You've been long. What?
Oh, interesting. Now you're selling large Titanite shards, but a limited supply, which makes no sense because you can already buy unlimited from McDuff. Oh, FromSoft. Oh, this makes no sense at all. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It'll all be okay, Fox. The game will be over soon. Maybe. And yeah, so I'd hate to go in there with 9,000 souls though. 15,501. 15,501. Old King Soul. Yeah, we're gonna pop it. Hopefully we didn't need it for anything. 15,501 means I may be able to get 2 levels now. Let's see. We could even that out. That'll take us to 100. Oh, that gives us 3 and then 2. Okay. There we go. Even 100. That's nice. And we'll buy some more life gems. 10 to be precise. And with that, guys, there's nowhere else to go. In terms of Brightstone Cove Seldor, we finished it. In terms of the Iron Keep, we finished it. That's a dead end there. The Shaded Woods ended in the dead end after the Doors of Pharos and the Brightstone Cove Seldora. Earthen Peak led there. We took care of that. We took care of everything there. All that's left is the thingy down below, in this game's version of Blighttown, which I can't think of what it's called. The swamp or something like that? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to run and get, or if I should just progress forward here. I know there are a few optional areas we didn't bother with, like the Doors of Pharos, the Rat King portion of it. Oh, you know what we could do? Let's run and do the old Dragonslayer, even though it's an optional boss fight. Alright, here we go. This area should be a lot easier now that we've leveled up quite a bit. Am I really doing that much more damage to these guys? 3 hits. Seemed like it didn't take too many more than that last time. But we've leveled up so much and increased our abilities so much. Come here, buddy. I got something for you. Really? Oh, come on. How are you going to take 4 and the others only take 3? That's cheating. Whoa, shoot. Almost fell off the edge there. Gotta pay attention where I'm going. I love how the other two will back away. But then he comes in once he notices his buddy's losing. Cheapskate. What a punk. Oh shoot, I couldn't dodge in time. You could see that I had the dodge queued up because I dodged immediately afterward, even though I didn't input it again. Cracked blue eyes seem to be the most common drop here. Thankfully in Dark Souls 3, pulling levers makes you immune like it did in Dark Souls and Demon Souls, which is a good thing. I think that's purely a good thing. It should have always been that way. They shouldn't have changed it in Dark Souls 2. I think to some degree they changed things just to be different. Not because it was better, but because it was different. That's never a good reason to change, in my opinion. Don't change something just because you want it to appear different. Change it because it makes it better. But I think that was part of the problem. Tanimura was trying to be different, trying different things to be like, look, I'm not the same as Miyazaki. Maybe. That's my interpretation. I may be wrong, but that's kind of how I kind of think how it may have happened, that he's just trying to look like he's doing things differently, that he's not the same as Miyazaki, that he's not just following Miyazaki's footsteps doing what he would have done. And in the end, I think the game suffered for it. Oh, there it is. Old Dragonslayer. We'll have to get this on our first attempt, otherwise we'll have to start up in the next episode. The drawbridge comes down. Don't get crushed. Oh, okay, we're good. Old Radiant Life Gem, and then what is this? Is this the one that increases your health or something? Hang on. What is this? Ring of Binding. Oh, I remember that ring. Limit HP reduction when hollow. That's right. That's the equivalent of Demon Souls, whatever that ring's called. That gives you 25% more of your health. Well, really, it brings you only to 75% instead of 50% when you're in soul form. Let's do this thing. Let's do this the way it was meant to be done. Actually, is he weak against? He was weak against fire in the first game. We'll try fire in the second game. What's done is done. What's about to be done is about to be done. And what's about to be done is the old Dragonslayer. Oh, shoot. I actually did dodge before the attack, but again, it's that lagginess that gets you. Holy crap, I was clearly meant to be here sooner. Look at that. Well, can't complain I'm not doing enough damage, that's for sure. This guy's, yeah. Sorry, man. I just owned him bad. We did not need the fire effect on this. We did not. I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I clearly just mopped the floor with you. Well, at least you got that first hit on me. At least, you know, it wasn't a total loss for you. Yeah, I almost feel bad. That was too easy. I expected at least a slight, tiny bit of challenge. But again, like I said before, you can access that area from the very beginning of the game, so it's probably expected that you'll do it sooner rather than later, and I did it later rather than sooner. Yeah, right here, in this wall here, you can kind of clip, your camera can clip through it, and you can see stuff you're not meant to see. Bonfire lit. Alright, back to Majula. And with that, we'll end the episode. Or, right before that, let's level up. I feel like this episode flew by. Alright. Still gives us 2. Okay. Well, guys, thanks for joining me again. This has been Dark Souls 2 Revisited. If you liked it, make sure to give the video a like, leave a comment below. I have a Patreon account if you want to do that sort of thing. Give free money to people on the internet that you don't know. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I love keeping up with everyone there. You can subscribe to my other YouTube channel, FoxeoGames, where I do reviews and commentaries. Link is in the description. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me, and as always, later, everybody.